Hi, I apologize that this video is not on Studio. I don't know if that changes the format, but my Studio audio is not working, so I'm just gonna be recording it on my phone. But I wanted to talk about the three labs that really stuck out to me the most during this class. I thought that the interviewing, when we did like our motivational interviewing, really stuck out to me. This was because I had never interviewed anybody in a professional format before, and so I was really nervous, and I noticed several things that I could work on, but I did notice some things that I did well too. So I noticed that I was really wanting to relate to the person that I was interviewing, so sometimes I would almost chime in too much with, oh yeah, like while she was talking, and instead of just like letting her talk. So I think that that was something that I could get better at. And then just not, I tend to want to relate to people, so I'll share like my stories to make them feel comfortable, but when you're interviewing you really have to zone in on that person and not use a lot of your personal experiences because it is about them. So that was something that I could work on. And then something that I did well, I had pretty good body language the whole time. I was open towards the person that I was interviewing, and I tried to restate. I probably could have restated a little bit more than I did, but I tried to restate after what she said to make her feel validated, and I tried to be empathetic as well during the interview process. And then another lab that stuck out was the KELS and the COPM, when we were kind of learning what they were and how to conduct them and do those assessments. So with the KELS, I didn't really know what standardized meant as far as the structure and what it was going to look like. So with the KELS, I really liked it. It was definitely something that you don't have a lot of anxiety when you're doing the KELS and assessing somebody, because what you have to say is specifically listed out word for word. And then something that I didn't like about it, which is something that I did like about the COPM, was that you couldn't really ask any open-ended question in the KELS. It was strictly follow your script. And the COPM, you really got to ask them kind of what motivates them in life and what they want to work on, what occupational problems they see in their lives, and what's important to them. So that was something that I really liked about the COPM. I thought you gained a lot of knowledge about the person and could figure out what they really wanted to work on as far as the occupations that they were having problems with. And then the last lab that kind of stuck out to me was our last group leadership practicals, and I just really enjoyed them. I thought that it would be a little nerve-wracking, and I think all practicals and things like that are, but I really enjoyed it, being creative and what we chose to lead our groups in and the activities. And I didn't even really so much look at it as an assignment. It was just something kind of fun and something that we got to be creative in. And something that I found difficult with it was probably just knowing when to let the silence be silence and let the group members think. And it might feel awkward for me because I'm not necessarily participating in the activity and thinking about it. But I don't know, I guess just kind of like the layout, figuring out how you want it to be, figuring out, because I think that you can plan a group leadership session and then it just not go how you thought it was going to in your head. So just be flexible, which is pretty much the big picture of OTs anyway. Just be flexible and creative, and I think that everybody did a good job when they did those practicals. And then as far as like my self-awareness of my skill development throughout this class and just throughout this semester in general, I've definitely seen myself learn so much. And in every class that we've had this semester, I've just learned so much that I've even forgot that we learned at the beginning because it's been so long ago. But specifically with interviewing and just like talking to healthcare professionals, I have been in the doctor's office and around health professionals since, and I really notice a lot more them using like um, interviewing skills and just like restating what I'm saying and using empathy and just restating everything. So I think it's interesting because what I wouldn't have noticed before, I notice now, and I appreciate it because I know that they're listening and they're trying and they've been trained in that. So I think just I'm more aware of that, and I think I also try to implement that when I'm talking to people, and I really want them to know that I'm listening to them. And then my knowledge and assessment on how I'm growing and changing as a professional student, I, again, just think I'm being more hyper aware of my surroundings, and I'm really learning about the other person that I will be interacting with and what to say here and what to do here. But I think ultimately too, I'm learning, like I kind of talked about, how to be flexible and how to roll with it and be creative in how I do assessments and how I talk to an individual depending on their condition and what they have going on. So I've learned a lot. I don't know if I could just pinpoint it down to one thing, but that would be what I think is just really being aware of kind of what I bring to the table and making sure that other people feel heard and feel seen and in any way that I can. So yeah, I really enjoyed this class, so thank you, Tammy. Bye.